Hey guys, I'm Jody.
And I'm Justin.
And we're Board Game Perspective. And we are taking a look at Noctiluca, designed by Shem Phillips and sent to us by Z-Man Games. Now, this is a beautiful game, lots of beautiful translucent dice. And this plays 1 to 4 players, and the box says around 30 minutes. So it's a light abstract game with lots of beautiful components. Let's take a brief look at how to play, and we'll come back up with our thoughts. To set up the game, you're going to be placing 5 dice on the outer ring and then 4 dice on each of the spots on the inner ring. Then you'll have these point tokens over here by color, and you're going to place them in numerical order with the highest point value on the bottom and the lowest, which is 2, on top. Then you have 12 player pawns, and depending on your player count, you're going to split them up evenly. So this is set up for a 2-player game, so we got 6 and 6. Now, each player is going to start with 3 of these cards, and you're going to choose 1 to discard. And these are going to be placed face up in front of you. And then each player also has this little, I think they're called favor cards, and it's going to show you a certain color Noctiluca that you're going to be trying to complete. And this also gives you a little summary on here. And then the first player marker. And lastly, you're going to split up the jar cards as evenly as possible into 4 different piles. So on your turn, you're going to be grabbing one of your pawns and placing it on an available spot. And there's all these available spots here. Now, if someone, like for instance, if this was there, I would not be able to place a pawn there. So wherever you place the pawn, you're going to find which path you want to choose. Now, there's 2 straight paths. So you got this path here that you could choose from, or this straight path that you could choose from. And what you're going to do is you're going to decide on a number between 1 through 6. And well, of course, you also have to choose your path. So I'll choose this path, for instance, here. I will say I want to collect 4. So then you're going to go through and collect all of the dice that are 4s. So all of these 3 right here. And then immediately put them on your jars. So I could put this here, and this here. So the numbers only matter for whenever you're collecting the dice from the board, and then only the colors matter for placing them on the jars. So that was a blue spot there, a green spot, and an orange spot. So now there also might be a situation where you might have dice that you collect that you cannot use. So let's do an example. Let's go here. Let's collect 5. So we got 5 here, a purple 5, and 2 more green 5s. Okay, so I can put the greens here. I will put the orange here. Now, as we can see, I have this purple one collected, but there's no purple spots. So this will get passed to the next player, and if they can use it, they will be able to put it on their jar, and it gets passed around. All the dice left over from your turn get passed around until they can be used. Now, whenever you complete a jar, so if I place that last one there, then I can deliver these jars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the dice, and then I'm going to collect that color token, the top one from the supply, so this one here, add it to my stash, and then I will keep this in my play area, face down, and then I will grab one to replace. So I will choose this one. So players are just going to keep going back and forth, calling out numbers, collecting dice, putting them on the jars, and then once all of these spots have been filled, then that is going to trigger the end of the first round. And obviously at that point there will be fewer dice out here available because people will have been collecting the dice. At this point you're going to do a refreshing. So at the end of the round, everyone's going to pull back their player pawns, all the dice will be removed from the board, and then you're going to randomly put dice out just like you did for setup. So 5 on the outer rings and 4 on the inners. So once the second round has been finished, then you're going to tally up your points. So you're going to get points from all these chips that you got, and then you're also going to figure out majorities of each color. So whoever has the most tokens of each color, not the value, but the most tokens of each color, will get to claim the rest of the leftovers of that token. So for instance, this player has only 1 yellow, but up here this player had 4. So this player would take all of the leftover yellows, but they get flipped over to the 1 point per token side. Now, another example, this player has 4 reds, this player has 2, so this player now gets the flipped over red stack. And then you will score any points that you got on jars you delivered. The points are in the upper right hand corner. And then for every 2 left you have on uncompleted jars, you'll get 1 point. And then you'll get 1 point per Noctiluca space of the color that matches your favorite card here. So for instance, this blue color, so I've completed these 2, so I would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points with those 2 cards. And whoever has the most points is the winner.
All right, everybody, so that was Noctiluca, and this game is just a nice little abstract game that I think is extremely effective at being that kind of gateway game for people that, aren't quite sure about board games. They don't know much about them. Maybe you say board games and they think, oh, Monopoly? Well, this is something a little bit different, and it also looks nice, and it's something that can kind of bring them into the hobby a little bit and get them thinking, there's something a little bit more than just Monopoly or Scrabble or things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially when you're playing with the new gamers, it's helpful to have a pretty game out there to kind of draw them in. Like if this is on the table, they might walk by and say, oh, what is that? It's gorgeous to look at. I mean, you have all these pretty components, the beautiful dice out here. It's really intriguing, so that helps as well. And then, like you mentioned, it's a lighter abstract game, so it's not overly complex. I mean, it's you just placing out a pawn, going down a path, calling a number, collecting them, and putting on matching colors on your jars. I mean, it's really simple, so it's a great entry-level game for sure. Now, honestly, I really haven't heard many people talk about this game. And I think this is a game that should be talked about. I think it's a very, very good, light, abstract game. It's just very enjoyable. I found it very relaxing to play. It's just one of those, you just want to sit down, chat with friends, and play a nice, relaxing game.
Yeah, I agree. I think when we first started playing, I think I was trying to overthink it a little bit, and it's really not a game to overthink. It's just something to sit down and play and have fun and just kind of enjoy it. So that's why I think it's a really good kind of gateway game for people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys should check this game out if you haven't before. It's just gorgeous. Gameplay is good, solid. I mean, definitely worth checking out for sure. So, absolutely. That is Noctiluca. So, if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and click that subscribe button and like this video. And thanks for watching, guys. And we will see you next time.
See y'all.